They call it a gift, but it feels more like a dare, Major Cole muttered, his gaze fixed on the corroded husk of the alien ship before him. The vessel, unceremoniously dumped into Earth's orbit like galactic litter, floated awkwardly on its magnetic supports in the makeshift dock. Its hull was a patchwork of mismatched alloys, dents, and what appeared to be scorch marks from energy weapons. The Kelari, the alien species that had delivered the ship, had called it a gesture of goodwill. But Cole had seen goodwill before, and this wasn't it. Generous of them to hand us their trash, quipped Jenkins, a wiry engineer with a constant sarcastic edge. Just look at it, chimed in Ramirez, his logistics counterpart. Half the panels don't even match, and the rest look like they were welded together blindfolded. Cole scanned the group around him, a motley collection of Earth's brightest minds, or at least those willing to sign up for what many had already dubbed a fool's errand. Physicists, engineers, computer specialists, and a smattering of military personnel, himself included. Not exactly the dream team of interstellar innovation, but it would have to suffice. The Kelari had claimed the ship was a gift to help humanity join the galactic stage. But everyone understood the unspoken truth. This was a test. Humanity had no friends among the stars and no alliances to lean on. The Kelari, known for their opportunism, had likely sent this gift as a means of manipulation. The ship itself was a disaster. Its systems were either dead or barely functional, and its design was baffling, a chaotic assembly of disconnected sections, as though it had been cobbled together from spare parts with no blueprint. And the power core? It wasn't missing. It had never been there to begin with. Cole clenched his jaw. They think we'll crash and burn with this thing, he muttered. Jenkins snorted. Honestly, sir? They're probably right. This heap wouldn't even pass inspection at a scrapyard back home. Cole's eyes glinted as he turned to the group. Good thing we're not looking to pass inspections. We're here to prove a point. The dock fell silent. Despite their doubts, everyone present knew the stakes. This wasn't just about building a functional ship. It was about earning respect. If humanity could turn this wreck into something formidable, it would force the galaxy to see Earth as more than a backwater. Jenkins broke the silence with a wry grin. All right, boss. Where do we start? The engine, or whatever this heap is pretending to be? Neither, Ramirez interjected, holding up a tablet. We start with the skeleton. If the structure can't hold, nothing else matters. The rebuild begins. For weeks, the team attacked the project with relentless focus. Engineers stripped the ship's outer hull and reinforced it layer by layer using materials scavenged from Earth's fledgling orbital industries. They welded and reshaped warped sections until the hull began to resemble something capable of atmospheric re-entry. Jenkins and his team tackled the propulsion system, or what was left of it. The Kelari engines looked impressive on paper, but were utterly useless in practice. Jenkins had a better idea. We don't need to fix it, he said during a late-night brainstorming session. We need to replace it. With what? Cole asked. Fusion drives. We've got the Mars colony schematics. They're not flashy, but they're reliable. Scale them up, and we've got ourselves some serious thrust. The team got to work. Using Earth's fusion reactor designs, they built engines capable of delivering unprecedented power. By the end of the second month, the ship could move under its own propulsion, something the Kelari likely hadn't expected. Meanwhile, Ramirez and his logistics team focused on the chaotic interior. The alien systems defied logic, with controls that seemed designed by an insane electrician. They ripped out entire sections and replaced them with human-designed interfaces. Ramirez even introduced modular components, enabling the crew to swap out faulty systems mid-mission. A breakthrough. The real breakthrough came from O'Brien, a quiet physicist with a knack for unconventional ideas. For weeks, he had been poring over the ship's schematics. One day, he burst into the dock, papers in hand and excitement etched on his face. I figured it out, he exclaimed. Cole raised an eyebrow. Let's hear it. O'Brien spread the schematics across the table, pointing to the mismatched sections of the hull. This isn't random. The ship wasn't designed to fight or explore. It was designed to adapt. Look at these connections. It's modular. They didn't just give us junk. They gave us a puzzle. They built this thing to be upgraded, Jenkins remarked, skepticism laced in his voice. Upgraded into what? O'Brien's grin widened. Anything we want. The room fell into a stunned silence as the weight of his words sank in. The Kelari hadn't given humanity a piece of junk. They had handed them a blueprint for innovation. If humanity could crack the ship's modular design, they could create something far beyond what the Kelari had imagined. From that moment, the project shifted into overdrive. Engineers integrated experimental railguns and plasma cannons, long buried in Earth's research labs. O'Brien spearheaded efforts to enhance the shielding, devising a hybrid system that merged human ingenuity with alien tech. Meanwhile, Ramirez overhauled the ship's interior, transforming it into a fully operational command center. By the fourth month, the vessel was unrecognizable. It wasn't sleek or elegant, but it was powerful. It was a statement, a weapon, and more than that, it was humanity's declaration to the galaxy. We're here to stay. As the final systems roared to life, Cole stood on the bridge, watching the displays glow with purpose. For the first time in months, he allowed himself a faint smile. They thought they could humiliate us, he said quietly, but all they've done is give us the tools to change everything. The test. The test came sooner than anyone expected. The Kelari, eager to see humanity fail, sent an invitation for Earth to participate in a joint training exercise. The so-called exercise involved a simulated battle over a derelict asteroid mining station in neutral space. The Kelari called it camaraderie. Everyone else saw it for what it was, a challenge. Cole stood on the bridge of the newly christened Resolute, a name chosen after much debate and ironically as a jab at the Kelari's assumptions about humanity's resolve. Gone was the rusted hulk of months ago. In its place was a reinforced, heavily armed vessel, a testament to ingenuity and grit. The crew's confidence had grown alongside the ship's transformation, but no one was under any illusions. This wasn't just a test of the Resolute. It was a test of Earth itself. "Status report," Cole barked, his voice cutting through the hum of activity. Jenkins, seated at engineering, leaned back with a smirk. "Engines are stable, shields at full capacity, and weapon systems are green across the board. We're as ready as we're going to get." "Navigation locked on the rendezvous point," Ramirez added from tactical. "The Kelari fleet's already there." Cole nodded, unsurprised. Of course the Kelari had arrived early. Their ships, sleek and gleaming, were equal parts intimidation and efficiency. Compared to them, the Resolute still looked like an underdog. But Cole wasn't intimidated. If anything, the Kelari's arrogance only fueled his determination. As the Resolute exited hyperspace, the Kelari fleet appeared on the main display. 5 ships, each larger and more advanced than anything humanity had ever built, hovered like predators. The largest, a heavily armed command vessel, loomed at the center. A voice crackled over the comms, dripping with condescension. "Human vessel Resolute, you are cleared to join the exercise. Your objective is to capture the station. Do try to keep up." Cole suppressed a smirk. "Let them underestimate us. It'll make the victory sweeter." He turned to his crew. "Let's show them what we can do. Take us into position." The battle. The Resolute glided toward the asteroid field, where the mining station lay dormant. The Kelari ships, already in precise formation, maneuvered with the grace of seasoned predators. 2 vessels took defensive positions around the station, while the others moved to intercept. "Contact in 30 seconds, Ramirez announced. "Jenkins, power up the weapons," Cole ordered. "O'Brien, how's the stealth module looking?" O'Brien, manning a station near the back, glanced up. "Unconventional, but operational. It's not perfect, but it'll mask our energy signature long enough to get close." The stealth module, one of the Resolute's most significant achievements, was a hybrid design cobbled together from alien components. It wasn't flawless, but it gave humanity something rare, an edge. "Good. Ramirez, keep the shields low for now. No need to show our hand early." As the exercise began, the Kelari ships moved with precision, their strategy textbook perfect. Confident in their superiority, they likely assumed humanity couldn't counter their tactics. But the Resolute wasn't playing by their rules. "Activate the stealth module," Cole commanded. Jenkins cut the main engines. "Drifting," he reported. The hum of the ship's systems quieted, replaced by the faint vibrations of the stealth module. On the main display, the Resolute vanished from the Kelari sensors. "Positioning us behind the asteroid cluster," Ramirez said, fingers flying across his console. "We'll have a clear line of sight to the station in 60 seconds. The Resolute slipped through the asteroid field like a phantom, its patched hull blending with the shadows. The Kelari, overconfident in their dominance, didn't even notice. "They're not adjusting their formation," O'Brien observed, his tone edged with disbelief. "They still think we're coming at them head-on." "Good," Cole replied, his voice steady. "Let's make them regret that." The Resolute emerged from the asteroid cluster, revealing the mining station ahead. Two Kelari ships hovered nearby, their weapons trained on empty space where they expected the human vessel to appear. By the time they noticed the Resolute, it was too late. "Fire railguns," Cole commanded. "Target their engines." The Resolute's railguns unleashed a storm of kinetic rounds. The first Kelari ship shuddered as its engines erupted into flames. The second scrambled to respond, but the Resolute was already repositioning. "Ramirez, bring the plasma cannons online," Cole ordered. The plasma cannons hummed to life, firing searing bolts of energy. The second Kelari ship's shields flickered, then failed under the relentless assault. Moments later, both defenders were disabled. "Station is ours," Ramirez reported, his voice tinged with pride. "Not yet," Cole said, narrowing his eyes. The remaining Kelari ships were turning toward them. "Here comes the counterattack." The Kelari fleet, realizing their mistake, moved to engage. Their sleek ships closed in, weapon systems charging. "O'Brien," Cole said, "activate the EMP." O'Brien grinned as he flipped the switch. A surge of energy rippled through the asteroid field, disrupting the Kelari ships. Their systems flickered, shields failed, and weapons went offline. "Now's our chance," Cole said. "Target their engines. Let's end this." The Resolute struck with surgical precision, disabling the Kelari ships one by one. When the exercise concluded, the battlefield was silent. The Resolute, battered but victorious, stood alone. The comms crackled with a different tone this time. "Human vessel Resolute, exercise concluded. Your performance was unexpected." Cole allowed himself a rare smile. "Unexpected, huh? Get used to it." The aftermath. The Kelari weren't happy. Earth's decisive victory had shattered their expectations. For centuries, humanity had been a minor player in galactic politics, an observer, not a participant. Now the galaxy was scrambling to make sense of what had happened. Cole stood in the briefing chamber aboard the Resolute, facing a holographic image of the Kelari emissary. The alien's golden carapace gleamed under sterile light, but its composure was fraying. "Your methods were unorthodox," the emissary hissed. "We question whether they were within the bounds of the exercise's intent." Cole folded his arms, his expression calm. "The intent was to secure the station. We did that. If your ships weren't ready for human innovation, that's not our problem." Behind him, Jenkins stifled a laugh while Ramirez openly grinned. The emissary's mandibles twitched in frustration, but it had no rebuttal. The truth was clear. The Kelari had underestimated Earth, and now they were struggling to reconcile the loss with their assumptions. "Your performance has raised questions," the emissary finally said. "There will be further discussions. For now, you may return to your home system." Cole nodded sharply, ending the transmission. As the hologram faded, Jenkins broke the silence. "They're rattled. Never seen a bug squirm like that." "They're not the only ones," Ramirez added. "Other species were watching. You can bet they're all trying to figure out how a junk ship just outmaneuvered a Kelari fleet." Cole turned to face his crew. "Good. Let them scramble. But we're not done. If we stop now, they'll write this off as a fluke. We need to push further." "What do you have in mind?" O'Brien asked, looking up from his console. "We take the Resolute into unclaimed space," Cole said. "Show the galaxy what we're really capable of. If we chart a new system or uncover resources, we won't just prove ourselves to the Kelari. We'll be staking a claim for humanity." The room fell silent. It was a bold and dangerous plan, but no one objected. They all understood the stakes. Into the unknown. 3 weeks later, the Resolute entered the Scorn Expanse, a vast, treacherous region of uncharted space filled with gravitational anomalies and unstable wormholes. Few dared to venture there, which was exactly why Cole had chosen it. The crew worked tirelessly, analyzing anomalies and mapping the region. The Resolute's hybrid systems, combining human and alien technology, performed better than anyone had expected. The ship was faster, more precise, and more adaptable than anything that Kelari had ever seen. "Captain," O'Brien said one day, his voice laced with excitement, "we're picking up a faint energy signature. It's massive." "Can you pinpoint it?" Cole asked, leaning over the console. "Working on it," O'Brien replied. "But it's not natural. This is artificial." The Resolute adjusted course, closing in on the source. As they neared, the anomaly resolved into a colossal structure floating in the void. Its surface was covered in intricate alien patterns. "A star forge," Ramirez whispered in awe. Star forges, vast, ancient facilities capable of constructing ships and weapons on an unimaginable scale, were the stuff of legend. If humanity could claim it, the implications would be staggering. "We need to secure it," Cole said firmly. "Jenkins, power up the weapons. Ramirez, bring shields to full strength. We don't know what's guarding this thing." As the Resolute approached, the Starforge came to life. Automated defenses activated, and swarms of drones emerged. "Looks like they don't want us getting too close," Jenkins said, fingers flying over the controls. "Too bad for them," Cole replied. "Target the drones. Fire at will." The battle was intense. The Resolute's weapons roared as the crew worked in perfect harmony, their training and ingenuity pushing the ship to its limits. Despite being outnumbered, the Resolute held its ground, its hybrid systems proving their worth. After what felt like hours, the last drone fell. The Starforge's defenses powered down, its systems seemingly recognizing the Resolute as the victor. "We did it," Ramirez said, slumping back in his chair. Cole nodded, his mind already racing. The Starforge wasn't just a victory, it was a game changer. With it, humanity could build ships and technology to rival any species in the galaxy. "We're taking this back to Earth," Cole said, "but not as a trophy. This is a message. The galaxy wanted to see what humans could do with junk. Now they'll see what we can do with opportunity." The crew cheered, their exhaustion forgotten. They had started with a rusted hulk and built something extraordinary. Now they were about to change the course of history.